think the labor movement is in disarray. I heard that Gerard, who's the steelworkers president, is going to be retiring. To me, he's a hero. He speaks and says the way it is. There are some others that are television personalities. But where are the real leaders? The Walter Reuther that crossed the bridge. Okay. The people who are willing to go to jail. Mike Quill. You might be a little too young, but I'll never forget Mike Quill. Thousands and thousands of my men are going to walk the streets, and you can put me in jail and prison for the rest of my life. But I love my men, I love my union, and when transport workers of New York are going on strike. And Mayor Lindsay can go to hell. Well, they locked him up, put him in jail. And to this day, he's a hero because Lindsay had to back down. The MTA had to recognize the union as a partner in running the transit system. And for the most part, anybody that rides that transit system, and I ride it every day, has got to admire it and admire the workers who are there every day doing their job, trying to be as pleasant as possible with 5.5 million people rushing around them all the time. So the working person is never glorified. What we do day in and day out is just looked at as mundane and they're replaceable. But we're not. And that goes back to the general strike concept. If we had done in 1981 what I was suggesting as a newly elected official of the union, and of the unions, I guess, we would be where we are today. Now it's happened over the years, it got worse and worse. So part of our problem is that, we ended up elevating people in the labor movement that never really did the work. So they're no different than the bureaucrat or the corporate director of negotiations or personnel or wherever they negotiate with. Because neither one of them dug in down there for the most part. There's always exceptions to the rule. With the rank and file and with the nitty-gritty of whatever that job was. So when you melt that into just wanting to get reelected, that seems to be the milieu of today. That whether you're a politician in Washington, whether you're a Tea Party, whether you're a liberal Democrat, you're looking at your next election. Those in this system we have today, the day you're elected probably is or re-elected is when you're out campaigning to get more money. Why is it practically all old white men in the 72 international unions? Where is the diversity of the membership reflected? That turns then the media to use that against us because we don't have diversity. Why do we say, okay, let's pull up the ladder, that's it, nobody else gets into this thing. We can pontificate and talk about organizing. When it comes down to it, really, they might end up electing one of them, and that means I don't have a job anymore. So we got to be careful about all of this stuff because it's all about re-election. We've got a lot of thinking to do, and we've got a lot of ideas that have to be expressed, and a lot of listening to figure out what we're going to do.